Welcome to Takshashila Gurukul channel. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe immediately, press the bell button and write your comments and feedback. Share with your friends as much as possible. We provide online Kundalini Raja Yoga initiation and Kundali activation in 6 months.
10 mythological symbols and mantra power ideas in Hinduism. Symbols and mantra power ideas. Mythological symbols and mantra power ideas have a special place in Hinduism. There are many Purana texts in the basic texts of Hinduism, in which many special ideas are narrated, such as God taking birth in a body and fighting evil demons, protecting the righteous, residing in the worlds and heavens, etc. Beautiful and thought-provoking stories are the subject of Puranas, while good moral teachings, clarification of noble ideas, explanation of religion, these are the things contained in those stories. The gods and goddesses that are often found in Purana stories, such as Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, Ganapati, Subramanya, Bhagavati, Indra, Yama, etc., are deities used to clarify the divine truth. The correct principles and ideas are played out in the background of the concept of each god and god form. Vinayak has an elephant's face, Shiva has 3 eyes, Vishnu has 4 hands, Brahma has 4 faces, Sharada is seated on a rock holding a veena, etc. Many different forms of God are given in the Puranas. Strange stories and superhuman behaviors and happenings are abundant in the Puranas. There is only one truth behind all this, and these Puranas are woven in various ways to make it clear. Just as we get a sufficient preliminary understanding of a country when we look at a map, similarly, through Puranas we get sufficient details about the god of wealth and his creative pastimes. How should the principles of life and the principles of means mentioned in the Vedas be practiced practically? What are the difficulties that arise while practicing them? How should those difficulties be overcome? There are many examples, descriptions and character portrayals in the Puranas. Through thousands of character portrayals like Prahlada's devotion, Dhiruva's penance, Hiranyakashipu's story, Harishchandra's loyalty to truth, Gajendra Moksha, etc., we get an understanding of the divine principles of Vedas and guidance for a meaningful life. There is no doubt that many incidents in the lives of famous people in the mythological era fill us with light, courage and enthusiasm in times of hardship and loss. Some of the principles embedded in the stories of the Puranas and their related stories are as follows. Only a couple of examples are given here. 1. Truth alone wins. Unrighteousness and untruth never win. No matter what difficulties we face in life, we should not give up on truth. Example 1. The story of Satyaharishchandra 2. The story of Prahlada Hiranyakashipu 3. The story of the destruction of Mahishasura, etc., etc. 2. God is there. He is everywhere. He destroys the wicked and protects the devotees and the righteous. It is possible to see him and talk to him. All that is needed for that is devotion, penance and surrender. Example 1. The story of Prahlada 2. The story of Dhiruva 3. The story of the Gopis 4. The killing of Kamsa 5. The story of the Pandavas. Ancient sages and great souls saw it with their divine vision, and as it is known through tradition, there are profound and meaningful spiritual principles hidden behind the depiction of the forms of the heroes of the Puranas, the gods and goddesses. Let us now briefly discuss some of them. Sri Mahaganapati. Sri Mahaganapati is a Gajavadana. He has 4 arms, a round belly, and he has a snake wrapped around him. Ganesha's vehicle is a rat. In Ganapati's upper hand, he holds a noose, in his left hand a hook, in his lower right hand a bhagnadanta, and in his left hand a modaka. We are so happy to see an elephant, so we cannot get bored. The elephant is a symbol of courage and endurance. In the past, elephants were used for warfare on the battlefield. Even today, elephants are used for difficult and heavy tasks. To be victorious in the battle of life, we must have the strength, courage, and endurance of an elephant. Similarly, like the ideal of the elephant, when we fight in the battlefield of life, Gajavardhana, the grace of the Lord becomes our guiding light and protection, which is symbolically indicated by the form of the Gajavardhana of Lord Ganesha, the destroyer of obstacles. The noose in one of Ganesha's hands symbolically indicates that the Lord guides the surrendered beings on the right path, and the hook symbolizes that he pushes them forward with wisdom. Ganapati has one tooth, while Gajvardhana Ganapati would have been very beautiful if he had two teeth. A tooth is a symbol of happiness, beauty, and power. Ganesha broke one of his teeth and used it to write the Mahabharata as per the wish of Maharishi Vedavyasa. Similarly, its symbolic meaning is that humans should also keep a little of their happiness and comforts and use the rest for charity. Vinayak's four hands should collect the four Purusharthas according to Dharma. The Lord's hand is spread out in the four directions. It means that he provides protection from all four directions to those who strive for Purusharthas. The fifth hand of Gajanan is the trunk, which can lift a very small and a big child. Similarly, our efforts, the four types of efforts of body, mind, money, and power, need the help of the fifth hand called God. The trunk is the most important and powerful hand in the body of Ganapati. Similarly, this trunk symbolically indicates that God is the most important and protective hand in our lives. Ganapati's swollen belly indicates that the Spindanda, the universe, is included in God. The snake that wraps around Ganesha's belly symbolically indicates that this universe, the Hindanda, is afflicted and bound by the magic of yoga power, and Ganesha's vehicle is the rat. It is a symbol of fickleness, a manifestation of subtle energy. If we believe in God and surrender to Him, and pray to Him to sit on the chariot of our life, just as the rat is the vehicle of Ganesha and lives in peace and happiness, so too will our life flourish and shine, protected from instability and instability, filled with subtle energy. Hinduism believes that the holistic concept of Ganapati is formed and developed from the form of Om. Om should be chanted before all mantras and worship. Om is the universal mantra, and similarly, Ganapati is also the first Mahadev of worship, and he is praised as the divine embodiment of Om. True to the form concept sign of Sri Mahaganapati, Sri Mahaganapati has been residing in the temples of crores of devotees for generations, bringing peace, nourishment, and satisfaction to life. The Ganapati sect has also praised Ganesha as the form of Parabrahma. Ganesha has not one but dozens of forms, among which Sri Mahaganapati, Siddhi Ganapati, Naritya Ganapati, Shakti Ganapati, Urdhva Ganapati, Hiramba Ganapati, Vignaraja Ganapati, Veer Ganapati, and D.H. Vaga Ganapati are the famous forms. Sri Brahmadeva Brahma has four faces. His vehicle is the swan, goddess Sri Saraswati. Sri Saraswati is the wife of Brahma. Brahma is the creator. All this creation is created by Brahma himself. The Vedas are four and are the source of the attainment of all the efforts of the devotees. The four faces have been conceived for Brahma as a symbol of the four parts of the Vedas. The swan has the ability to accept only milk in milk and release water. Truth, matter, and wisdom are necessary, and if they are present, the meaning of the Vedas shines on life and life flows like a swan floating happily on water, indicating that the living being crosses the ocean of samsara and reaches the shore happily. Sri Saraswati Devi Saraswati, the goddess of education, is the embodiment of will, knowledge, action, and power. In her hands, she holds a rosary, hook, noose, and books, as well as a veena. Just because the strings are in the veena, the sound does not come out. Similarly, for the sound to be regular, the three things of the will, the knowledge of the voice, and the action of the voice must come together, just as in life, the will, knowledge, and action powers must come together like a controlled and melodious sound of the veena. Just as the sound of the veena requires a player to play it, the sound of the veena, which is the life of the living being, requires the grace of God, which is the symbolic meaning of the veena in the hands of Devi Sharada. Sri Vishnu, the god, has four weapons in his hands: conch, chakra, mace, and lotus. The conch is a symbol of the principle that this world originally appeared through sound. The universal symbol of sound, Om, which is called Pranava, is the external symbol of sound. The conch shell holder is Lord Vishnu, the master of sound and the cause of the world. The wheel symbolizes two ideas, cutting and moving. The wheel of samsara keeps moving. It can also be cut by the grace of God. A living being trapped in this wheel continues to experience birth and death. But the wheel indicates that it is possible to escape from this wheel of birth and death with the grace of God. The wheel is also a symbol of cutting or destroying injustice. There are numerous stories in the Puranas about how Vishnu killed many wicked people with the wheel and saved many righteous people. The mace is a symbol of punishment for sin and a sign of the fruit of karma, while the lotus is a symbol of peace and tranquility. It is also a sign that God gives refuge, peace and shelter to the devotees. Lord Shiva is depicted as holding a trident, riding a bull, wearing a snake's robe, and carrying ashes. Shiva is also known as Chandrasekhar, wearing a tiger's skin, wearing a damaru, and wearing a Gangadhar. The trident is a symbol of spiritual, supernatural, and metaphysical healing. Taurus is a symbol of power. Taurus also means truth and religion. Taurus is a symbol of God's presence wherever there are true religions. Accordingly, Shiva's vehicle is considered to be Taurus. The one who wears a snake as his jewelry is a snake's jewelry. A snake brings to mind fear, poison, and death. It is also capable of causing harm to others. Poison also means that which is bad and not beneficial. If life is to be pure and the living being is to attain the bliss of salvation, fear, bad thoughts, and things that are like death should not be subject to them in life. They cannot be separate from life. But it is possible to control them and make them harmless. What is needed for this is good conduct and good deeds. Fear, poison, and death all fade away and become subservient to them. God is the embodiment of righteousness, and is a symbol of this. God, the Supreme Lord, wears a serpent as his adornment and is adorned with a serpent. Shiva's third eye is the eye of knowledge, and when that eye is opened, the past, present, and future times are known, and truth, non-violence, eternity, and material understanding arise, and the living being attains liberation. The symbol of this is Shiva's third eye, ash, which is a symbol of sacrifice and detachment. When the forms seen in the world are burnt in fire, they remain as ashes. When a human being dies at the end of his life, his body is reduced to ashes according to the rituals. Thus, ashes indicate that if there are renunciations, the living being can attain liberation. The moon symbolizes change and symbolically expresses time. The waxing and waning of the moon can be understood from time. Time is limited in calculation from the human perspective. The Lord is timeless, and this is symbolically indicated by the idea of Shiva wearing the moon on his head and being Chandrasekhar. Lord Shiva, who wears the skin of a tiger, has the Brahma consciousness that is present in the universe. This means that Lord Shiva wears the skin of a powerful tiger as a symbol that all the unique energies seen and experienced in the world are of the Lord. Damaru produces sound. Damaru is the symbol of the sound consciousness that is widespread in the universe, and the universe is subordinate to the Supreme Being. The idea of Shiva wearing a tambourine symbolically expresses that there is no sound except him, the Brahman, the sound. Just as the Ganges washes away the dirt of sin, the plain where the Ganges flows becomes pure and fruitful. Thousands of living beings live with the water of the Ganges. The Ganges, which flows continuously in the form of a river, has provided salvation to so many crores of living beings. When the holy water of the Ganges is contaminated, the devotee gains devotion. The idea of the Gangadhar wearing the Ganges on his head symbolically expresses that the source of the great Ganges of mercy, knowledge, and purity is in the Supreme Being, and the devotees and future beings get them from him. Thus, there is a detailed and special meaning in the character portrayals and narratives of the Puranas. It is difficult to find these meanings through logic and the power of scholarship. But many ascetics, saints, and great souls have confirmed from their own experience that it is easy to find the meaning of the world through inner experience, through spiritual practice, and through a pure mentality. While the myths of Hinduism help a person to live a life of righteousness, material symbols help in following and protecting the life of righteousness. Since it is not possible for a human being to say that God is specifically like this, the reason for imagining him symbolically is that it is not possible to come to a definite conclusion that God is like this. The principle behind the origin of symbols is the attitude of making idols, statues, etc., about the form, shape, and bliss of the Lord, and of filling the souls with inspiration for divine life. The basic purpose of symbols and the principle inherent in them is to express what is invisible to the eye through visible material means. There are mainly two types of symbols, namely, yantra and murti, which are related to the mind. Yantras are symbols made of drawings, which are made of metal, and lines are drawn in a ritual manner, and mantras are written and drawn. Example: Shri Chakra Dantra, Shri Ganapati Yantra, Shri Sudarshana Yantra, etc. The symbol of human form is the idol, statue, idol of God, and the relationship between the devotee and God. For example, mother, father, relative, owner, etc. There are two other symbols that support or complement these two symbol elements, and they are material in shape. The symbols of the rules of conduct are the clothes worn on the body, the rituals of accepting food, etc., e.g., wearing tilak names, food rules, etc. Thus, Hinduism, which contains many types of symbols, examines life from all angles and proclaims it as a means to move towards perfection. The principles behind the symbols are understood to be that symbols help in the spiritual upliftment of a person in some cases, and help in overcoming the obstacles of worldly life, and the difficulties of spiritual life to some extent. When the awareness and attention to the noble principles behind these symbols decrease, a feeling of ego, mutual hatred, and selfishness arises in a person, which leads to the degradation of personal and social life. There are many symbols and perspectives related to Hinduism. The most famous of them are 1. Om, 2. Swastika, 3. Kamal, 4. Purna, Kumbha, 5. Flag, 6. Gaja, 7. Cow, 8. Nandi, 9. Dharmachakra, 1. O. Bilva leaf, 11. Tulsi, 12. Ashwatha tree, 13. Moon, 14. Sun, 15. Tilak, Mudra, names, 16. Placing a crown on the head, 17. Yajopevita, 18. Ghantamani, 19. Puja with incense and lamps, 20. Prasada, 21. Symbolic rules hidden in the food ritual, 22. Japavishel, 23. Saffron cloth, 24. Mutide Shringara. Let us now briefly consider these. Om. The letter Om contains all vowels, consonants, and vowels. Om is the divine manifestation of Brahma or the Supreme Being. By chanting the word Om, one becomes aware of its boundless divine glory. Special details are given in all the scriptures of Hinduism. In the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, practical explanations are given regarding the details of Om, its benefits, and its fruits. The Om symbol is the greatest of all the symbols of Hinduism. It is sacred and significant. Be it any mantra praise, or any religious work, they all begin with the pronunciation writing of the word Om. Swastika. The swastika symbol is an auspicious symbol. Hindus have carved or inscribed the swastika symbol in the temples, shrines, and doorways of houses. Many details are found in Hindu scriptures that claim that the swastika symbol is auspicious. The meaning of the swastika symbol is that everyone is happy and everyone is blessed. Lotus. The lotus has a special place in Hinduism. There are references and explanations about the lotus in Hindu scriptures, and all its significance is described in detail. We see that religious guidance is given to many issues of life through the example of the lotus. God is called Kamalavadana, Kamalinayana, and it is also said that God resides in the lotus of the devotees' hearts. Goddess Lakshmi is praised as Padmapriya, Padmale, and Padmadalayatikshi. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna teaches that a karma yogi should live detachedly like a lotus leaf in water. Thus, the lotus occupies a unique place in Hinduism from all perspectives of life, religion, and beauty. The lotus is a symbol of beauty. Similarly, detachment is a hidden characteristic in it. Although the lotus is born in mud, it does not become dirty like mud. The lotus indicates that even if a person lives amidst the hardships and filth of mud in life, he should and can live detachedly and beautifully. The fragrance of the lotus is fragrant. Its color is beautiful. It shines with light and closes when there is no light. It has many petals. Although the petals are different, they all belong to the same lotus and indicate unity in diversity. The light of the sun is the breath of life of the lotus. The sun is God. The lotus indicates that he is the breath soul of our life. The lotus makes it clear that without the light of the sun, the lotus does not bloom and does not shine. Our life should be beautiful like the beauty of the lotus. Like its fragrance, the lotus indicates that life should be filled with the fragrance of purity and purity. Thus, attachment, disinterestedness, light, that is, the worship of the Supreme Being, the shining God, the purity of beauty in filth and inauspiciousness, the purity of beauty, all these are symbolically indicated by the lotus or lotus. Purna Kumbha. Purna Kumbha is called Amrita Kumbha. The holy water that is filled in the Kumbha according to the Shastra mantra is like nectar. Even if the Kumbha breaks, the nectar does not die, it is immortal. Similarly, even if the body dies, the soul does not die, it is theirs. There is a tulukit in a half-filled kumbha. There is no tulukit in a full kumbha. Similarly, there is no happiness and peace in an imperfect life. Similarly, life should be full of righteousness, good conduct, good deeds. Then, through life, a human being can realize the complete Supreme Being. Thus, a full kumbha is a symbol of auspiciousness, security and immortality. Flag. The flag flies high, enduring the blows of the wind, based on the flagpole. The symbolic message given by the flag is that a human being should live in the field of life, enduring and facing the blows of the wind of happiness and sorrow, based on the flagpole called God. As the flag flies high, life should be of good quality. One of the principles hidden behind the flag is that our life should also be effective and fruitful, just as the flag inspires and admires others. The flag is a symbol of pride, excellence, determination, and loyalty. Gaja. Gaja is a symbol of determination, strength, and capabilities. The cow symbolically indicates that firmness, strength, and abilities like the cow are necessary for acquiring wealth and their security and nourishment in life. Cow and Nandi. The cow provides human nutrition by providing milk. The land becomes fertile with cow dung. Plants flourish. It is possible to cultivate the fields using oxen. Oxen are used to pull carts and for many other types of physical labor. The cow's excrement and urine help to make the land fertile and also come in handy in purifying the body and homes of humans. Thus, the cow is a useful and sacred animal that is used in many ways in human life. Just as the life of a cow is used for charity in many ways, the cow and Nandi, cow, symbolically indicate that the life of a human being should be managed in a way that benefits others. Dharmachakra. Just as a chariot needs wheels to move, so too does the chariot of life need the wheels of dharma to move. Just as a chariot cannot move without wheels, the Dharmachakra symbolically indicates that life cannot survive or shine without dharma. Bilva Patra, the Bilva leaf, which consists of 3 parts, is useful in worshipping God. The 3 parts of the Bilva leaf in the Bilva leaf as a whole symbolically indicate that life, composed of truth, religion, and peace, should grow and shine like a Bilva leaf worthy of being offered at the feet of God. Tulsi. The Tulsi plant, which is endowed with medicinal properties and a pleasant aroma, is a symbol of holiness and purity. Tulsi leaves are used for worshipping God. Tulsi leaves are simple and beautiful, and Tulsi is a symbol of love for God. The tulsi leaf symbolically indicates that a person should be pure, simple and pure to be eligible for God's grace. Ashwatha tree. Ashwatha means that what is today cannot be the same tomorrow. It means that it changes in an instant. Samsara is also like that. The happiness and sorrows in it also change in the same way. However, life should not be neglected. Ashwatha tree is long-lived, multi-branched, with many branches, glands and leaves. Similarly, Ashwatha tree spreads its branches widely and with thousands of leaves. It provides shelter to many types of insects and birds. It is also rich in the essence of many types of herbal medicines, and its shade and air are all sacred and beneficial for living beings. That is why Ashwatha is called the king of trees. Ashwat symbolically indicates that human life should also be useful and strong like the Ashwatha tree, growing and shining with longevity. Moon. The moon, which is not seen on the day of the new moon, appears on the day of the full moon. The moon, which waxes after the new moon, wanes after the full moon. Waxing and waning are inevitable in life. The light of the moon is calm and harmonious. Life should also be filled with peace and happiness, and it should be beneficial for the welfare of oneself and others. The moon symbol indicates that one should face difficulties and pleasures with a calm attitude. Sun. The sun is the basis of the life of all living beings. The sun is self-luminous and full of infinite power. When the sun rises, the life of the world becomes lively. All living beings live their lives happily. Without the sun, there is no doubt that the lives of living beings would become dull, lifeless, weak and perish. Similarly, if our lives are not supported by the divine power and light of the Supreme Soul, our lives will not grow. They will not shine. The symbol of the sun symbolizes that the Supreme Soul is infinite in power and full of radiance. Tilak Mudra names. Tilak is applied to the forehead between the eyebrows. Shiva devotees wear ash and kumkum, while Vishnu devotees wear sandalwood and sandalwood. Angaraka names are also used. The place between the eyebrows is the seat of the Ajna Chakra, and if there is awareness there, the eye of knowledge is opened, and the soul becomes free. Sandalwood, kumkum, and ash help to always remember this point and keep the pulse of the Ajna Chakra area cool. Apart from this, they also help to retain the memory of one's favorite deity. There are two types of mudras. One, forming a shape by placing the hands and fingers in certain specific ways according to the feeling. 2. Marking the shape of the conch shells and chakras that adorn the hands of the deity on specific parts of the body with ground sandalwood, by ritually heating metal mudras with the help of fire and pressing them on the body. Bhavamudra is the expression of spiritual feelings by placing the hands and fingers in a specific way, which helps in concentration of the mind during worship. The second type of mudra makes the practitioner remember his favorite deity. Also, marking it with sandalwood helps in activating the nerve centers of the body. We mean applying sandalwood or ash on the forehead and on the body parts in specific ways. Ash is a symbol of renunciation and sacrifice. In this life, the body is finally burned and becomes ashes. When all the forms and shapes of matter are burned, they become ashes. Ash is the form that remains after the combustion of matter, and so on. Ash reminds us of renunciation and sacrifices. Similarly, ash prepared by burning suitable plants and herbs has the power to control the cold blood pressure of the body and the heat of the brain. It is an empirical fact that ash also has many types of germicidal power. Similarly, sandalwood. When sandalwood is fragrant and fragrant, like wood, it has a fragrance. Even if it is worn out, it remains surrounded by its fragrance. Similarly, living things are also surrounded by God and God is their innermost being. And just as fragrance is everywhere in matter, sandalwood symbolically expresses the principle that God pervades the world. Like the fragrance of sandalwood, it also contains medicinal truth. Sandalwood embodies the principle that if its fragrance pleases the mind, its medicinal essence protects the body. No matter how much sandalwood is consumed, it does not give off its fragrance. Similarly, No matter how much sandalwood is inhaled, it does not give off anything other than its fragrance. Similarly, no matter how much wrong a living being does, he should not give off his goodness and virtue, and should not hate anyone. Sandalwood symbolically indicates that one should be cheerful and fragrant with devotion. Yajyopavita. It is explained in Hindu religious scriptures that Yajyopavita is a sutra that helps in attaining the Supreme Being, a symbol of gaining authority through Vedic study and Vedic rituals, and a sutra sanskaranad through yajna. Janevar is the embodiment of Yajyopavita. Janevar consists of 3 rounds of a sutra with 3 delicate threads, tied together with a unique knot. That knot is called Brahmagranthi Brahmagantu. The wearing of Yajyopavita is accomplished through the ritual of Upanayana, which is prescribed by the Shasrokta. During Upanayana, after the wearing of Yajyopavita, the sacred Vedic Gayatri Mahamantra is recited. There is a scripture that says that the length of the Yajyopavita is the length obtained by wrapping the remaining 4 fingers of a hand, excluding the thumb, 96 times around it. The background behind why these 96 times are required is very important and noteworthy. In the Chandogya Parashistha of the Samaveda, while describing the hidden things in this universe, it is said that there are 96 of them in total. Namely, 25 elements, 3 gunas, namely Sattva, Raja, Tama, 15 tithis, 7 weeks, 27 stars, 4 Vedas, 3 seasons, 12 months. Since the total number of these is 96, it has been determined that the length of the Yajyopavita, which is the instrument for attaining the Supreme Soul, should be 96 times. The basis of the 96 philosophical views of this universe is Parabrahma, the Supreme God, who is the cause of the creation of the world in 3 forms, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, and all the creations of the world animals depend on him. There are 3 important methods for realizing the Supreme God, namely Karma, Upasana, and Jnana. Thus, as a symbol of all these, there are 3 threads in Janevar, which are arranged in a circle and tied with a knot at the end, and that knot is called Brahmagranthi, Brahmagantu. The heart is the center of the vital energy of the living being and the abode of the heart among living beings. So the Yajyopavita is worn on the upper part of the body and is lowered to the right side so that it passes through the heart. The Yajyopavita should be made of cotton, and there is a certain method for its preparation, which is prescribed in the Shasrokta. The Janevar is to be worn only after it has been prepared according to the scriptures. Thus, those who wear the Yajyopavita, which is endowed with the presence of the holy deities through the Vedic mantra rituals, in accordance with the scriptures and live by chanting the Gayatri Mahamantra, especially receive the blessings of the gods and develop the brilliance of Brahma, the power of knowledge, health and wealth. Placing the Shikhe. The Shruti says that all living beings in this world are born from God, just as hairs are born from the head. The head is the center and place of control of the knowledge, behavior, movement and actions of living beings. Similarly, the principle that God is the one who controls and owns the living beings in the world is one of the hidden meanings behind placing the shikhe on the head. Another principle is that there is a very delicate part of the head called Brahmarandra, which needs a crown to protect it from heat, such as sun, cold, etc. Bell. The bell is a symbol of the original sound of the universe, Nada Brahma. The purpose of the bell is to produce sound by ringing the bell when Brahma is worshipped through sound, that is, with the names of the mantras. When the mind of the seeker stops wandering and hears the sound of the bell, there is a remembrance of the divine Om sound. The symbolic principle that the production of the Om sound helps to increase devotion to God and concentration of the mind is included in the production of this bell. Not only that, the bell is also rung as a symbol that the many evil forces, ghosts and spirits hidden in the universe should move away from the sound of the Nada Brahma and not disturb the seeker. The principle of invitation that God comes to the place of worship of his devotee as soon as the bell rings is hidden behind this ringing of the bell. Lamps, incense and flowers are remedies. Lamps give light. Light removes darkness. Darkness can be of any relation, spiritual, metaphysical, or super divine. The remover of all these types of darkness is God, who is the light. That is why in the Upanishads, the prayer is made as follows: Take us from darkness to light, O God, Tamaso Ma Jyotgame. As a symbol of this principle, Jyoti is lit in homes, temples, and places of worship during the Trisandhya period. Jyoti is lit as an auspicious sign on auspicious occasions. Incense is filled with fragrant smoke and has the power to spread everywhere. God also has such a pervasive power, and incense symbolizes it. From a medicinal point of view, incense destroys insects. The principle of belief that the omnipresent God destroys the insects that are evil in oneself is embedded in its background. Similarly, flowers are offered to God as a symbol of beauty, virtue, and good deeds. Prasad. When offered to God, it becomes sacred and becomes prasad. Because God is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent, whatever is offered to him is sacred prasadam by his grace. Accepting prasadam removes all sorrows. Prasadam means milk, food, fruits, etc., offered during the worship of the Lord. The Panchamrit water used for anointing is also considered prasadam. The prasadam of anointing is called charanamrit and the food prasadam is called navedya. Whatever is offered to the Lord with devotion, the Lord accepts it. In the Gita, Lord Krishna promises, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhakta prayachati, tadaham bhakku paritamashnaami prayatatman, Gita, chapter 9, verse 26, whoever offers me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water with devotion, I accept that which is offered with devotion by one whose pure form is like that. The Lord accepts the fruits, water, food, etc., offered to the Lord in a subtle form. There are countless proofs and examples of this in Hindu mythology, history, and in the biographies of devotees and saints. By accepting prasada, the devotee receives the grace of the Lord in the form of purification from the three elements and the removal of austerities. There are thousands of examples of many types of diseases being cured by accepting the blessings of the Lord. The principle behind prasada is that prasada is a symbol of the grace of the Lord. Food regulations. Food means the acceptance of food. According to Hinduism, accepting food is a sacred act, a sacrifice. The Lord has said that He is the one who digests food, and the details about that are given in the Gita as follows. Aham Vashvanaro Bhutva, Prananam Demashrita, Pranapanasamayukta Panamyanam Chachividham Gita, chapter 15, verse 14. I, in the form of Jataragni, take refuge in the bodies of all animals and, being composed of the four elements of life, digest the four types of food: bhojya, to be eaten; bhaksha, to be eaten; choshya, to be absorbed; lahya, to be licked. Food is the basis of life. Following the principle that the one who receives it is the Supreme Being, from him alone the energy returns, accepting food is considered a sacred sacrifice. One should sit at a clean place for eating. As soon as the food is served on a leaf, one should remember the Lord and sprinkle water with the prescribed mantra. This is a ritual of purifying the food, and the subtle defects present in the food are removed by it. Then, water should be collected around the leaf with a mantra. This protects the food from any evil spirits or insects until the food is consumed. The purpose of the acceptance sacrifice is to avoid any kind of trouble. Then a certain amount of food should be offered to some specific deities as a sacrifice. This is an act performed with a mantra so that there is no trouble during the acceptance of food and so that the Yamadi deities are loved. Accordingly, a few grains of rice should be kept on the right side of the leaf or box where the food was served, after purifying the earth with water and keeping it as per the ritual. Then, taking water from the palm of the hand, one should accept the grains of rice 5 times with a certain mantra, saying that it is offered to the 5 vital organs in one's body. Similarly, one should accept the grains of rice for the 6th time with a mantra, saying that it is offered to Parabrahman. Then, one should accept the food with the remembrance of the Lord and perform it with the feeling that it is a Brahma Yajna. At the end of the meal, one should accept water with a mantra. Food purity, that is, Food purity. It is said in the Chandogya Upanishad that the purity of the essence arises from. Therefore, special rules and pure practices are mentioned in the Hindu scriptures regarding the matter of food intake. That is why the act of food intake is considered to be a Brahma yajna that is offered to Brahma himself, as it originates from Brahma. In the Gita, Lord Krishna has made it clear thus: Brahmamarpanam Brahmahavai Brahmagau Brahmanahutava, Brahmava Tenar Gantivyam Brahmakarmasamadhina. Gita, chapter 4, verse 24. The offering is Brahma, Havisu Brahma, Brahma, in the fire of Brahma, which is sacrificed by Brahma himself. Brahma is what is to be received by a man who is absorbed in Brahma form karma. Japamala. The rosary is made of tulsi, rudraksh, etc. beads and is worn. There are 108 and 1 beads in the rosary, making a total of 190 beads. One of these beads is outside the row of beads and is called the Gurumani or Devmani. When chanting, one round should be counted as 108 times, starting from the tip of this bead and ending with the touch of this bead. We breathe 21,600 times a day. This breath is the energy of God and the basis of our life. We have to remember God in the process of breathing, since it is not possible to do so in the midst of our daily life, that is, since we are not always awake for the entire 24 hours. Symbolically, out of 21,600, 200 and 1600, 1 for each 100. One should chant at least 216 times. If we divide the 24 hours of the day into day and night in this 216, then 108 times per 12 hours of the day, that is, 108 times per 10,800 times the breath that is taken during that period, means that one should chant at least 108 times. The 109th mani is the Gurumane. The Guru is another form of God himself who guides us in spiritual thought. The Gurumani symbolizes that the Guru is the basis for all achievements. Just as the Gurumani in the Japasar is the basis for determining the number of chants. Just as it is not possible to systematically chant without the Gurumani also indicates that without the Gurumani, spiritual practice or anything else in life cannot be achieved. The beads that come out of the Gurumani finally join the Gurumani itself. Similarly, the structure of the rosary and the movement of the chanting symbolically convey the principle that beings who come out of God go through the cycle of life and finally join God. The adornment of the goddess Muttayide, the one who has a husband according to the religion, is Muttayide. It is clearly stated in Hindu scriptures that a woman is the embodiment of Shakti. The goddess of beauty, brilliance, and wealth is the treasure of Shakti. Just as Shiva and Shakti are combined and have fire and the power to burn, the Muttayide woman is the wife of her husband and is with her husband. The all-round adornment of the goddess Muttayide is a symbol of the worship of Shakti. For the household dharma to be maintained and for the millions of lives in the world to be born, a woman must perform the duties of a mother. Just as Shakti Devi is the mother of the world, she is the mother of the world and the support of the family life, and she is the mother of the world. Therefore, the ornaments, clothes, etc., that are offered to her in a decorative manner and given as a token of respect are all the same as those given to Sri Devi, the mother of the world, i.e. Shakti Mata. The principle underlying these decorations and respects is that they are all right. Saffron cloth. The color of saffron is the color of fire. Fire has the power to burn. Saffron cloth is a symbol of burning the passions of lust, the bonds of attachment and the bonds of the world in the fire of sacrifice and renunciation. Those who wear saffron have their own vow. The saffron cloth is an external symbolic device that helps one to always remember their decisions and remain alert without being distracted from their path. Just as fire has the power to burn regardless of time, country, or circumstances, the saffron cloth symbolically indicates that the saffron-wearing ascetics, by bestowing their grace, can perform world welfare work regardless of time, country, or circumstances. Mantra power ideas. A mantra is a verbal instrument with letters that, through meditation, grants liberation to the chanter. The definite names of gods such as Rama, Krishna, Kali, Lakshmi, Sharada, etc. The seed letters such as Om Krim Dum Klim with cryptic meanings, and some praises of gods and goddesses, all these are mantras. The principle behind Mantra Shastra is that the sound waves produced by the words we speak and the sound or tone produced by them and the effect they have on our bodies and those of others are closely related. Every word we utter has a subtle effect on the nerves and organs within our body. Not only that, the sound waves we utter also have an effect on our minds and the minds of others due to their sound waves. By using these sound waves, it is possible to achieve the health of the body, the growth of plants and trees, and the health of the human mind. Also, the principle that the power of sound can influence the minds and life conditions of others in the desired way is included in Mantra Shastra. Our ancient sages have discovered through their own experiments and observations how the respective words formed by the combination of the respective letters are pronounced and what kind of effect it has on themselves and others. Accordingly, some important mantras, root mantras, seed letters, etc., are included in Mantra Shastra. There are rules and rituals as to how and how many times these mantras should be pronounced, and if the mantra is recited and worshipped according to them, the power of the word is generated and it is the school of man. It has a corresponding effect on the subtle bodies, and it is understood from the detailed explanations in Mantra Shastra that there is nothing else behind all the living things in the world, and it has an effect in the form of sound, in the form of waves. Many hymns and mantras composed based on this principle are found in abundance in Hindu scriptures. When mantras are recited in the correct and regular manner, they bring about the corresponding results, while when recited incorrectly, they also bring about the opposite results. If the health of the body and mind improves with the correct recitation and worship of mantras, and worldly and spiritual upliftment occurs, then the health of the body and mind deteriorates with the incorrect recitation of mantras. Worldly spiritual upliftment and health decline. The recitation of mantra words produces sound waves, and thereby the power of mantra is born. That power manifests itself in the subtle and physical forms and mental systems and exerts its influence. Reciting mantras with devotion and devotion brings about certain results. The Vedic suttas, other mantras, the ritualistic recitation of the 1,000 names of Lalita Sahasranama, Vishnu Sahasranama, Shiva Sahasranama, Ganesh Sahasranama, etc., the pronunciation of mantras such as Pranava, Om, Gayatri Ashtakshari Panchakshari Panchadishi, and Japa upasanas generate mantra power, through which a person can obtain worldly and otherworldly happiness and peace. The power of sound emerges through mantras. Through music, one can attain liberation by worshipping Nada Brahma. Similarly, one can also attain health and wealth during the lifespan of this world. Many saints, great souls, and experts in music who have lived in India are witnesses and role models regarding this mantra power and musical power. If we examine their lives, we come to know of many great deeds they performed with the power of mantras. The daily chanting, and meditation of mantras are of special importance in Hinduism. Among all the mantras, the mantra, Om, is the greatest, which is the source of all vowels. Moreover, Om is the sound of the divine consciousness and the Varnapratik, and there are clear references in the scriptures of Hinduism that Anhata means a divine sound that is not pronounced but is full of its own sound. Those who chant the mantras correctly and worship them and accumulate the power of the mantra finally attain mantra siddhi. They themselves were the ones who chanted the mantra. When they give the mantra to others as a teaching through initiation, a little bit of the mantra's spirit flows to the initiate from the mantra instructor. Then the person who has received the mantra initiation becomes pure in body and mind and becomes eligible to chant and worship the mantras received as a form of initiation. Thus, through initiation, a person who sets out to become a mantra worshipper also receives the spiritual blessings required from the Guru to become a mantra siddhi. In addition, the details of which mantra seed syllables are pronounced by which persons, and the pronunciation of which seed Syllables can be fruitful according to the physical and mental conditions of a person are known to the Guru who has attained mantra siddhi, i.e., a person who has attained mantra siddhi. Therefore, receiving mantra instruction is a very important and necessary aspect in relation to mantra worship. Therefore, no matter what the mantras are, there is no doubt that if they are not received in the form of instruction from the hands of a mantra siddhi guru, beneficial results cannot be obtained from mantra worship. There is no difference between the mantra and the deity of the mantra. Divine power is inherent in mantras. There is nothing that cannot be achieved in life by using the power of mantras generated by the chanting and repetition of mantras. Healing of the sick, exorcising ghosts, removing mental defects, making a thief return things on his own, acquiring wealth, winning battles, increasing knowledge and wisdom, and above all, self-realization, many such achievements can be achieved with mantras. It is also possible to perform heinous acts with mantras. But it is also possible to nullify the effects and consequences of such acts by worshipping mantras. Those who understand the power of mantras and use them in life are called magicians, sorcerers, mantras, mantrajnas, etc. It cannot be said that chanting mantras a couple of times or a dozen times, or doing them by people, will bring results, or that mantra siddhi will be achieved. There are rules and regulations on how many times each mantra should be chanted, and how it should be chanted. When chanted according to them, mantra siddhi will be achieved. To know all these details, one should know the Guru's face. Thus, the mythological stories, symbols, and ideas about the power of mantras of Hinduism contain profound principles and truths. All these are revealed through implementation and analysis rather than logic and arguments. Therefore, there is no doubt that it is unreasonable and unwise to ignore them without implementing them in the right way or to adopt a negligent and indifferent stance.